Welcome everybody to my chess stream here on lichess and Twitch. International Master Willam Paschall. We are streaming a a viewer tournament on lichess.org. We're going to be playing 7+2. It's the Sparkle Horse Arena for an original name. Last week we did 5-0, kind of a fast time control, so I thought we'll go back to the longer games. There are kind of a lot of players in my stream who watch, since I do play this type of time control on a regular basis, I think majority of players prefer the longer time control. And the games don't turn into a bullet game when you berserk or something. Well, actually they almost do, 2.5 minutes, right? Or what do you get? No, half the time. You should get 3.5 minutes. It's not really a bullet game. Kryptone, welcome. Who else is here? I'm a Kitty. Saroche, World Loser was, I don't know if he's registered for the tournament. World Loser was lurking. We have two effective moderators, plus Mubat, so the trolls will be in trouble today. Yeah, I'm a Kitty. I think a number of players will only play the 7+2 or the longer time controls, where with the faster time controls, I think it's more like certain players won't want to play that. I think everyone is okay with the 7+2 or the longer time controls. We're gonna start in let me see, exactly 10 minutes. I like to start a little bit after 7 so people start watching the stream and they don't realize I'm doing it, so it gives people time to realize the tournament's happening. Really hot here today, like crazy weather. It's almost like early summer. But I lived in Boston for years, and it's pretty cool there this time of year, oftentimes. So it's really strange. Budapest is actually further north than Boston, which is really weird. European geography kind of confuses me. I'm talking to Jeroen from the Netherlands, our moderator, in the chat on the tournament page, and it's cooler up there in Northern Europe, obviously, but it's just weird for me to understand how that works. Anyways, we're gonna focus on chess here today. 7+2. Ayeste joined us. I'm a Kitty. We've got Sparkle Horse, that's me. Aldisto, Ayeste, I'm a Kitty, Jeroen. Macros 42. Thank you guys for subscribing. A lot of you guys are subscribers. Aldisto, Ayeste, Macros is a subscriber. Ooh, it's hot in here, man. It feels like it's the middle of June or something. Today I had a lot of banging on the wall during the day. I'm glad I didn't have a stream in the morning or the afternoon, because they're reconstructing an apartment on the other side of my building, on the other side of my wall actually, and it was banging and banging during the day today. Oh, Krypton actually grew up in Boston. Wow. That is crazy, dude. I didn't know that. I didn't grow up in Boston, but I lived there between 1990 and 2003. 13 years, more or less, in the Boston area. So yeah, the weather is quite different. October in Budapest is really nice. Actually, I find this to be probably one of the nicest months in this city. Guys, we're streaming on lichess and Twitch. It's 7+2 classical. It's a casual arena tournament. Everyone's welcome to play. We're starting at 7.5. No, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I can't believe how hot it is, though. I want to turn the fan on. I've never had a fan. I never lived in a really hot place, like Texas or Las Vegas or Southern California, so I've never had a reason to have the fan on, or have air conditioning all year round. But man, this if it was like this all the time, I'd have to install air conditioning. So the Red Sox, don't talk about the Red Sox, Jeroen. The Yankees are still in the baseball. They're still in the playoffs after winning yesterday. I'm just waiting for them to die. Every time I turn on MLB.com, I'm praying they'll be eliminated from the playoffs, but They're still hanging on by their fingernails. The next best thing that can happen to a Red Sox fan is that the Yankees lose, other than the Red Sox winning. Anyway, let's just hope for the best. The Astros take them out in Game 4. But anyway, back to chess, guys. It's going to be 7+2. No rated games. I don't know. It's just kind of more relaxed, more fun that way. I won't get as hysterical when weird people play me with computers and stuff. So anyway, no, it's pretty good here on lichess. I like playing on lichess. Okay, we've got 9 players. Anarchy Forever. That's a new one. Tekken. Tekken is well, I can't restrict the entries here. Like if it was my stream, I won't play players with less than 50 rated games. But there's no way to restrict the entries to the arena, so you guys are just all welcome to play. Yeah, lichess is the only place I'm playing now. I definitely played on other sites in the course of my online chess career. Anarchy Forever. I'm fine. You have a monkey rating. What does that mean? You have it very close to my first USCF rating. I was 1275. Man, it's super hot here. Alright. Let's make sure everything's good. The microphone is working. We don't have drop frames. That's weird. That's like three streams in a row when I didn't get any kind of problems. Last Friday was Friday the 13th. Weird things kind of did happen that day. Arsenal fan, what's up, man? Arsenal fan tied for first in an over-the-board tournament this last weekend. He was telling me about, which is awesome because he doesn't get to play. I don't know, one of his first over-the-board tournaments. Actually, I'd like to be playing. I'm supposed to play in an IM tournament. I just found out. I'm like being forced to play in it in December, but it's not really great, you know, not really interesting for me to play in IM tournaments, but I just kind of don't have time and money to travel to big tournaments right now, so I wouldn't mind playing a good tournament. And the other 2 IMs who are going to be playing with me, because you have to have like at least 3 IMs, are like 2 of the strongest IMs in Hungary, so it should be a decent tournament at least. Albert Bokros and Galiash Miklos are probably the two of the closest to GM strength IMs we have here. So it's no shame to play in an IM tournament. I'm a Kitty played an over-the-board tournament too. Sorochi is going to play the Groningen Christmas tournament. Awesome. So I have nothing this weekend. Next weekend I think I have a team game. Our first match for the Hungarian Team Championship will be the following weekend. I'm expecting our guest Last Dance to jump into the tournament like 1 second before it starts again. I was watching him warming up in bullet chess. He's basically a really legit bullet player. He's been dominating our tournament every week. Smarter Chess said, when did you move to Hungary? I moved here in 2004. The beginning of 2004, right about the time I played in Aeroflot 2004 and moved here. Right about that time, February 2004. And I go back home. I was streaming from the US in July and August. Viswanathan 66. Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna get started in 2 minutes. I'm gonna try to analyze my games, you know, as we go through. It's enough time. That's why I like the longer time control. We can really try to learn something from it. But it's a tournament stream. I also maybe I'll take a break for a while at some point, and I'm not gonna berserk my game, so I probably don't have a really good shot at winning. But I may take a timeout to analyze or follow another game as we play through the tournament. It's 2 hours, by the way. With this time control, you need a sizable amount of time. I mean, you're not going to get that many games. Every game can take up to 15 minutes or longer, so 15 minutes per game, you can play 8 games with 2 hours, which is a cool rapid tournament basically. When assessing your own game, do you think it's difficult to be accurate about assessing your own strengths and weaknesses? Are you talking about that Kotov quote there? Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has, you know, I think that everyone is a little bit like biased when assessing their own strengths and weaknesses. So, but it's weird when I get different opinions about myself. If you ask one player if I'm like, you know, strong, you know, they'll say, yeah, he's good. He's very, very tricky and tactical, but like positionally he sucks, you know, like and then like really positional players will say like I'm very, very tricky, but you know, or I'm very, 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 very good tactical players will say that I'm very good positionally, but I suck tactically, you know. So it really depends on the perspective you're like looking at it from. For some people like me, who I don't have really that clearly a defined style. But anyway, Arsenal fans' main point, I think, is that I think it's best that someone else assesses you. I mean, I'm looking at the Kotov quote there. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to evaluate yourself. I think it's, number one, you have to be qualified, and number two, you have to be unbiased. I have a tendency to forget my own losses, which I mentioned to Move 11 this week. I thought I never lost a game in the Mora Gambit, but I had just totally blacked out this game I lost. So you guys can enter any time. You can withdraw or just like pause the tournament. Good luck. We're gonna play for 2 hours and have like a, you know, kind of summary when it's over. Xerox is ranked number 2. Zebo Live, new account I have not seen on the stream before. Good luck, everybody. So I'm playing Xerox. We are going to play. I was playing Knight H6 all week, by the way. It's my tilt opening. I just decided I had lost some rating points because of disconnecting a game and another game where I like hung a piece. So I decided I was going to play like Knight H3 and Knight C6 every single game until I got back to over 2400. And I won every single game in a row till I got my rating back. Now Xerox, mostly I went into the Richter Rouser against him, or no, sorry, we had Sozin. I decided to play something else now. My brain isn't that fresh at the moment. I can't remember if I played the Accelerated Dragon against him. I kind of feel like I must have at least once by now. But I kind of keep the Accelerated Dragon in reserve because it's, you know, it's not good to be too predictable, especially with a systematic opening like that. People will prepare for you. Well, it's good to see he didn't play the Marazzi at least, but he seems like a fairly, you know, theoretically oriented player. So I have played castles in A5 on other occasions, but I don't know the critical lines of that as well, so I'm gonna avoid that. Ugal variation. Played the Gingy line. If you play the Dutch against a Dutch person who plays the Dutch, you're probably going to be in trouble. Especially if he's like Mikhail Gurevich. No, wait. Where does Mikhail Gurevich live? Does he live in Netherlands or does he live in Belgium? Does anybody know? One of those two countries, but I can't remember which one. Castling. Anyway, for years, like Mikhail Gurevich, okay, it's Belgium. The Dutch guy who plays the Dutch, he would know. Anyway, you border Belgium too, so it's like a question you're just very well covered to answer. Thinking of the great Dutch players. You've got the modern Dutch players. Simon Williams. Okay, knight to b3. I mean, yeah, that's a bishop. Knight to b3 was a Freudian thing. I don't really like playing against knight b3. I lost a game to Pop Gabor in that line like 10 years ago. Maybe more. It was like 12 years ago. It was like 2005. To knight b3, queen c7, bishop g5, which is a dangerous line. I don't actually have that many games in this line. You know, I am Daniel Gurevich. You played earlier this year. He's going to be playing Pro Chess League for Ben Feingold's team. Well, I think that's pretty logical. Ben Feingold has moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and that's where the dude is from. Yeah, it was like this sort of... Daniel Gurevich had this like telepathic preparation against me. He like... It was like he knew what I was going to play. And like he knew the pairings in advance or something. Like it was first round and I had no time to prepare. I really wish I had that game back because I found a really good improvement for black. Daniel Gurevich. I've played all the Gureviches now. Like the whole collection. Vladimir, Dmitry, Ilya, and Daniel. And Mikhail I have not played, but I just talk about him. Rook e1. This is like a really positional line, isn't it? Wait a second. But isn't he supposed to play like? Isn't he supposed to play h3 first? Good question. I thought you're supposed to play h3 first. So knight g4 just looks like... After h3, bishop d7, then rook e1 I thought was a line. I mean, this looks like it should at least equalize for black. Yeah, our house bullet player, Last Dance, he's arrived. I escaped getting paired with him. Arsenal fan, why did you say Sicilian Najdorf? Really no option there. You didn't see you at a game started. Oh no. Well, at least you didn't resign. Or disconnect or something. I lost 50 rating points like that last week. Or a few days ago. I just switched like screens to send a message to somebody. And next thing I knew, I was resigned. I didn't close the window. But I just wonder, you know, how much could that guy have prepared? I mean, did he like look at my streams or something? Is it possible that Daniel Gurevich actually like went through my streams and looked at the lines that I play using my own streaming? It's definitely within the realm of possibility. Feels like I should have some kind of tactic here, but I don't see anything. I said it was equal for me, but maybe I was being a tiny bit optimistic. There's no way this should be anything special for white. Okay, I have e5. Then he goes back to e3. That's kind of a weird situation. There's also queen h5. I don't ever really want to play e5 because this bishop becomes really tough in those kind of situations. I don't know. Maybe I'll just try to provoke some weaknesses. This may not be good for me. I'm really unsure about this. This is probably a stupid plan, but yeah, probably a bad idea. Anyways. Worst case scenario, I'm just a tiny bit worse. It's very minor. So it's basically a blitz game, a 3+2 blitz game, standard. I was really concerned he should play e5 there, last move. I think it's just better for white. Now it's probably closer to equal. Going off on a tangent here with bishop a6. This was not the original plan. Tangents and more tangents. I really managed to play this extremely substandardly. I should have just taken his knight off when I had the chance. I mean, it's such a bad decision to play, like not play bishop takes e2. I would have had a comfortable position there. Now I'm still okay. Z Fox, what's up? Well, the thing was, he couldn't download my lichess games because I play unrated games, and it's a good thing I do, because in that way, like, the games aren't saved. But he could have, like, seen my streams if he checked out the streams on my YouTube channel or something. But it would take a lot of work, and I just don't think that would be. I just can't believe that anybody would have the time to do that. He could just happen upon it or something, you know. But it was just a variation that I, you know, it was kind of something he could have figured out, but it wasn't that obviously lucky. Like, you know, I play a number of things, so. He knew it pretty deeply. A really obscure move that that's really, I mean, the variation I played a number of times, but I prepared a particular and obscure variation. Which I had only played in like one lichess game that was unrated. Maybe two at the most. I guess it's just a coincidence at the end of the day. Looks like Xerox is just panicking. Oh, which way do I take? They're both good. Pretty much, you know, relatively straightforward technical ending. Black should be winning, pretty much like 100% of the time here. I would think. Okay, still not that easy. The bishop versus knight issue is always like an imbalance. I really want to do something like create a secondary weakness, or a tertiary. Is it tertiary? Tertiary weakness. But he's getting a little bit of counterplay. A little bit of counterplay for whoa. Liquidating stuff. He's defending this pretty damn well. Alright, that's a lot of pawns to come off the board here. Not really thrilled about this. Yep. It's very fortunate he didn't defend the other way. He has rook d3. I just like forced him to. That was like, I don't know that I'm even winning here. I mean, it's before the blunder. If he doesn't do that, I guess I'm winning, but it's not easy. You know, I don't know. I'd have to play this really well. All right, let's go back to the tournament. So we managed to get a win. Last dance already has 2. Halligator. The Halligator, I call him. What's up, guys? 7+2. It's Last Dance's favorite time control. Someone has to take out the bullet genius there. Unicorns is in. Nafudov. Another 2000 player. Aldisto. There's a lot of people capable of beating Last Dance. But he's I don't recommend trying to beat him in the flag department, because he can make, against me he made 9 moves without his time moving. Which I think shouldn't be allowed. You know, if online chess ever became like kind of like official in any way, I really don't think you should be able to make 9 moves without your clock moving a tenth of a second. But, you know, apparently it's possible. Let's try to confuse Nefedov with something different. Alright. I haven't played this in a long time, but I'm just thinking, what haven't I played against Nefedov? We have quite a few games already, like 40 games now. And I want to just take him out of his usual. He likes to kind of like improve his play against me systematically. So I want to play something different. Alright. We're loose. We're ready to play. 7+2. It's about 8 rounds, probably. Here we are. I remember that there was this like New in Chess yearbook where this guy I know who's kind of an idiot wrote in and like criticized he criticized, what's the guy's name, the Greek grandmaster who plays this all the time, Grivas. Criticized Grivas for calling it like the Grivas variation or whatever. And the dude wrote this scathing email or, you know, message or whatever, you know, letter back to New in Chess yearbook. Grivas was just taking the guy apart. I know this person. I mean, it was so rude. Like, criticize someone who put so much work into the opening. No one really like deserves to have, you know, this opening named after them any more than him. Okay, bishop e2. It's a slow move. It doesn't address the e4 pawn. So I think I should hit that, and I don't know. I mean, it just looks like probably bad for white. We just break it with d5, and white has a kind of bad game. I played my friend, one of the last games I played this line was against my friend, what's his name? Vogan Protestnik on ICC. It's a German grandmaster, Michael Hoffman. He played a sharp line against me. It was like queen b6. Let's see, queen b6, knight b3. How does it go? Knight b3, knight f6, knight c3, e6, queen e2. That's a pretty cool line. I think I had another game in the US Championship in that years ago. So now here we are. I mean, I've really got just a structural advantage here. Alligator and last answer tied for first. It is a little bit gross for white. Now, do we take with the bishop or take with the knight? I mean, I think we must consider taking here. Don't want him to take on d5. I guess you could play other moves, but bishop takes, leaving with the bishop pair. That's probably kind of risky. We'll just keep it simple. Yeah, like the queen b6 variation is something that's very good to play against an unprepared opponent. You know, it's like every 8-year-old child knows how to play the white side of the Yugoslav attack dragon at the 2200 level. You really have to think about playing different stuff. Alrighty. My bishop e7 is a bit passive. I guess we should play here. Probing the weaknesses. It's almost like I did an exchange sacrifice on c3, but didn't. Okay, white has some redeeming qualities, not much. Hi William, could you please give some details about your $20 training hour offer? Oh, $20 an hour training game offer. What time control, how much analysis, etc. It would be best, you know, if you just send me an email or a message, you know, and I can answer you in messages, because it's I'm a little busy right now, but I will definitely be happy to answer any questions about training games or anything else. This is what I was talking about by redeeming qualities, ironically. Although I don't think he can just flat out like lose a pawn. I mean, I thought that he should play like g3 and then plan on knight d4. Yeah, but I mean, you can email me videochesstrainer@gmail.com or simply send a message here on lichess. But the problem with the lichess messages is that I tend to lose them. I don't really like the messaging system that much on lichess. So the email is the best way to contact me if you have any questions about lessons or training games. But in the middle of the stream, I'm kind of hard pressed to answer details. Definitely negotiable. Smisker, thanks for watching. Bishop takes h2. Basically, I do like training games for half price. You know what I would charge for lessons. Man, it's unbelievable. It feels like it's like 30 degrees centigrade in here. Queen c1. I mean, that, you know, that feels like a mouse slip, you know. I can't really quite understand what it does. He's trying to play queen a3, I guess. All right, first things first. We secure our bishop and make sure he can't castle, and then I guess play a6. Queen a3. There's a really sweet line here, like queen a3, a6, queen a3, bishop d6, knight b5. But I guess that's not exactly forced. I could also just take his knight, but somehow fixing his pawn seems like a major concession. We have a fair time advantage here. This position should be lost for white because of his structural and material disadvantages, but he did find one of the more interesting maneuvers I've seen in a while, this queen a3 thing. I'm not really a materialistic guy, you know, so I like development here. Maybe bishop d7, knight b5, queen b8, and you show me what you're going to do next. Developing a piece while keeping the structure, keeping everything in order, basically. All of my pieces are protected, what John Nunn calls LPDO, you know, loose pieces drop off. If you keep all your pieces protected, you're not going to be, you know, surprised very often. If I can move my rook, you know, here I expect like rook b1. He could play bishop g5 or something weird. Yeah, he has knight b5, but it doesn't do anything. I just play queen b8 when, at that point, he has nowhere to go, and I'm threatening to take on b5 for real. Right, bishop d3. Now, is bishop takes h7 a threat? Not really sure. I feel like h6 is a bit passive. Maybe bishop f4 killing one of his pieces. I don't know, I'm a little scared of rook h5. Knight takes e6, pawn takes e6, bishop g6 check. Even that doesn't work. I mean, if I could just trade pieces like bishop f4, that would kind of kill him, kill his attack, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he has some attacking chances. Structurally, he's like bankrupt. Materially, he's down a pawn. This is a good move. I don't want to castle, you know, queenside into that, really. Obviously, b5 is no good. I even have to watch for potential rook takes b7. so it's like, you know, could happen. Castling queenside. It's a bit dangerous. Look, he can organize all of his pieces here. Bishop g5. Now bishop d6, rook takes b7 doesn't work. I want to get him away from me. Get away from me. His only move is like queen b3 or queen b2. Maybe I should have put my rook on b8 actually. But I have knight a5. This looks pretty strong. Knight takes e6, bishop takes e6. I might even be able to take the pawn on c3, but that's extremely materialistic. No, I don't think so. Queen b2, queen takes c3, take, bishop d2. Nefedov. Very nice piece play. His pawn structure not making life easy for him. Nefedov had a draw with Ostrovsky. He's a tough player. He has quite a few draws against me. Now, b5. I mean, b5, a4 leaves some questions to be asked, answered. What about bishop f4? Kind of cold-blooded, forcing exchanges. Trading pieces when you're up material. He does have like rook h5 at some point, which would displace my knight on a5. Hanging in there. Still preventing me from castling. It's becoming kind of irritating. He lost on time. He's got counterplay here, though. I mean, I don't think this is lights out. I didn't mean to drop out of the tournament. I meant to analyze the game for a second. Anyways, I think he's got some compensation there. So, let's see if anybody can take out Last Dance. I'm a Kitty has a queen. Oh my god. Is that I'm a Kitty? I'm a Kitty winning against Last Dance? Was it, well, that's weird. What happened? I mean, I don't mean to hurt I'm a Kitty's feelings, but, I mean, it's a pretty major upset. Wow, dude. What happened in that game? Something major must have happened. Last Dance was like positionally better, and then what the heck happened? He just simply moved too fast in like a winning. Oh, he's not winning. White is better. So white was better. Black was just careless. Weird. All right. Good job, I'm a Kitty. The first time I've seen I'm a Dance. I'm a loser. World loser. I'm a dance. Last dance. I'm a kitty. I guessed it. What happened? Wow, I know what happened. Next thing, it's always good to threaten mate in one. That's the secret. I'm a kitty. If you see a mate in one, or a way to threaten mate in one, you can't go wrong. And you found a very primitive threat. But I guess he had to give up his queen, right? Because you were threatening mate, queen g8, and if h5, queen g8, king, and then like bishop c1 or something. So last dance just kind of wandered into, he just kind of wandered into a lost position basically. Underestimating I'm a kitty. Never underestimate your opponents based on their rating. And the other catchphrase is never, you know, I mean, what I wanted to say was the hardest position to win is a winning position. And that's like, you know, when you start underestimating people, when you like achieve a winning position. Zeba Live from Lithuania. We're going to transpose to symmetrical English. I'm basically bringing my serious game here. I don't like to mess around. I'm not berserking. I mean, I want the games to be instructive. Yeah, this is a really annoying variation. Erdos Victor played this against me. Okay, he wasn't 2600 yet. It's a good line for black, knight d4. Recommended. It's recommended in a Palliser book. I think this is supposed to be the way white's supposed, some sort of crazy g4 I'm supposed to play, but I don't know when. Maybe now. I don't know if this is right. Let me get the book. No, I've got the book right there, but I never played this in my life, but I think this was the idea. Izuria or somebody, I don't know, there was some second tier grandmaster I saw play this. I don't remember if this is exactly the right moment for g4 or not. I suppose it should be. Is black threatening d5? That's the question. And if g5, knight h5, well, I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit weakening, but at the same time, we gain a lot of space and central control, so. One can never knows, as my friend Benny Miklos says. I'm a kitty in second place, Alligator. It would be good to know like the kind of like normal follow-up here for me. I mean, bishop h3, d6, I'm not real confident in that. We go back and play bishop e2. He's probably going to take my knight on c3. I just realized this is kind of a funky move. I can take back with the d pawn, but I don't know. Okay, tricky player. I may have just made a very bad move. Of course, I don't think there's any real easy answers here. It's just a very strange position. Kind of convoluted. I may have played g5 too early. I'm not sure I'm supposed to do that. So welcome to my stream, guys. International Master Willam Paschall. We are playing 7+2, and it's my viewer tournament. I do Blitz and Classical Chess with viewers Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, Central European time. Central European summertime. you know, now he's gonna have to. Actually, what is he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna have to take on c3. Although maybe I have h5 with the kind of initiative on the h file. I'm definitely taking toward the center with the idea of like d3, e4, and getting my bishop out. Possibly you could think of another idea here. We've got a number of strong players. Aldisto, Alligator, Last Dance, World Loser, Ayeste, Unicorns. National Master Unicorns, thanks for playing. He's only got 2 points though. Maybe he's sitting out. So Zeba Live like played Queen c7. I mean, he's definitely got some kind of compensation there. I can't believe it's quite enough. Queen c6, Rook g1. I mean, I need to solve the riddle of my dark squared bishop here. That's the real question. Building a white square fortress. Now, do I play e4? Or just move the rook? I don't know, e4 feels more constructive. You know, at some point I could play knight to d5. It's not... I didn't play it because it doesn't really do anything right away. Oftentimes I find that, you know, the general saying the threat is stronger than the execution, it's really true most of the time. And it's certainly, I would say it's certainly, maybe I shouldn't allow b5 here. Well, I mean, I can play knight to d5 at some moment. It would have been a little safer to develop my bishop. It's kind of a cheapo, rook f3. I can play knight to d5. Maybe start to have some kind of actual threats. Yeah. Castle's kingside. Oh my god. Totally. I totally didn't even consider it, which is very bad. Now my queen is slightly out of play. Messy position, and white still doesn't have good coordination, and it's a player I don't know much about. I'm not sure how strong he is. He did take, otherwise knight f6 is very, very problematic. So c takes c4. This feels like I have to play like e takes. This guy is not joking around. Looks like I'm in some trouble here. My queen is just out of play. More than likely I'm going to have to give back the pawn I'm up. But a pretty impressive game by black. Not only does he know the opening really well, he played a fantastic pawn sacrifice, kept coordination, castled bravely when I was like not even considering it was an option. Stronger than I expected. Now I'm possibly in a lot of danger. My queen is totally out of play. I don't know how far the theories come in this line. I mean, maybe g4's just totally, you know, known. Maybe all this is just known by now. If I play queen g4, get my queen back in the game, I'm going to lose that pawn on d5. Yeah, I mean, it's the h6, of course, h5, g5. It's just that it's a little bit slow. But maybe it's worth it. Yeah, I'm going to regret this. Maybe I shouldn't even recapture on d5, honestly. I should have taken on e6, but in any case, he's getting a lot of play. Very possible I'm losing this game. I don't like my king, I don't like my structure. My extra pawn seems like it's going to be gone in a minute. I don't like that move, though. I don't know why he's taking on c4. I could even take with my queen. Of course, there he has surprises like queen b7 for me. Maybe it's a good move, too. All right. I can defend the pawn from the rear with rook d3. He's got all sorts of threats. Rook f5. Black's coordination is something to be reckoned with. I may just be lost here, or damn close to it. Yeah, I'm in a world of hurt in this position. Probably just lost for white. My king is unsafe. He's winning back his material with interest. His pieces are like perfectly placed. Whoa, sorry. He's FIDE 1700, my god. I didn't mean to click on your profile. Okay, FIDE 1700. Jesus. That's hard to believe. Bishop f4. I'm on the verge of absolute disaster here. All right. At least with the queens off, there's a small chance for survival. I don't like my position. I'm losing another pawn. But if we get everything active, we should have some chances to survive. can win a pawn back. Maybe hold on here. Wait a minute. Bishop takes e5 first. Now at least he doesn't have that connected passed pawn, so I'm okay now. White could even be slightly better now. We got a better king, better structure. A little bit better structure. It's not really major. He does have a passed pawn though. This could be crazy. I saw Sebe got mated like this with black against a guy in my last GM tournament. My friend Attila Sebe, it was like round 1, he got mated against the 2100. That's a good move. Very possible, you know, like this is a draw. But I'm gonna try. We are up a pawn. Well now, it's not the ideal extra pawn that I want to have here. It's probably just a theoretical draw. Yeah, this is a draw. Good game, man. Alright, I want to see the analysis board if my g4 was right. I don't know. I think it's like a move later or something normally played. It looks like b3, bishop g7, bishop b2, d6, and now g4. So I played it too early. I wonder if those other guys did the same thing, like they thought the same thing as me. Like you're supposed to do g4 right away. Alright, anyways. Nice game. Aldisto in first place. I'm a Kitty in second. Last Dance in third. I had the feeling it might not be the right moment for g4. Alright, Xerox. Nice defense in the rook ending too. Can't believe that guy's 1700 feet. That's, well, he played the opening well, and he played the whole game well actually, except for that the one point where he might have been better, but he traded queens. All right. Actually, even after trading queens, he was a pawn up, so maybe there was something there. Xerox, what happened? Oh, you played knight c6 and I played c4. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but anyway. Yeah, we had this once before, right? Super weird line. I need some inspiration. Bigfoot is verified. What's up, guys? Now the e4. I believe we had this once before, but I'm not sure it was against Xerox, or it could have been against someone else. And I don't remember what the heck happened when we played this. It's basically a reversed Rossalimo, where the extra tempo, you know, should be somewhat relevant. It's not like White did anything wrong. I mean, this is a pretty aggressive style. You know, you're playing this pawn to e4. It could be a little overextended. All right, what's up, Nefyadov? We had to stop to get some food. I had my lunch in the middle of the day, and like, what did I eat? Well, I had a big lunch. I didn't really eat dinner. Knight f6 here is probably the best move. I mean, you're just developing a piece. I need to develop my king side, so g3 obviously comes to mind, but I could also attack the center with like d3. All in all, a very interesting position. Okay, we'll just play this pretty stupid move. I don't feel like it's very aggressive, and it could lead to an symmetrical pawn structure, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I should probably play g3. It's so weird that this move like virtually never occurred in any book that I've seen. I guess I haven't read the most recent books, but I never remember seeing that ever. But on the other hand, there's like nothing wrong with it, you know? I mean, this line that he's playing is basically a line that White plays, that I've played myself. Like, you're just like a tempo down. Although c6 seems kind of weird. It actually seems very weird to play c6, because the knight on b4 needs like that retreat square, and I would expect something much more direct for black there. He has some tricks based on queen a5 or something. I mean, I can just play a3. It's not a constructive move, though. I could see like a smothered mate happening or something weird. Queen e7. Setting up some bizarre smothered mate themes. I'm not going to try to like play perfectly. I don't have enough time for that. What is the English? It should be English with a British accent. Why is it called the English anyway? We should look it up in Wikipedia. A5. It's not the most fundamental move in the world, but it does the job. Okay. Stop bothering me, please. Okay, this is going to slightly weaken my structure, but black has his issues too. It's like a really demented c3 Sicilian. Bishop g5, knight c5 just gets weirder and weirder. I guess e3, he just plays knight c5, which is obviously very irritating as well. g3, on the other hand, I have knight f5 here. That's not good. That's just when you forget your development altogether and impale yourself. wonder about bishop c3. All right, pin it and win it. There's no queen a5. Pin it and win it. And most importantly, like, allow myself to play e3 without getting my stupid bishop trapped inside my position for the rest of my life. Now he plays d5. It's kind of a combative move, but it's cool. I'm gonna take. He didn't take with the queen. I was half expecting him to take with the queen. So his position looks a little loose. Feels pretty loose for black. But I'm having hallucinations and stuff. If I just take on e4 and play e3, or not. Take on e4, play e3. I could even, I don't know. It's too hard to say. He's got a castle. I take on e4. He's a little bit like weakened. I mean, a5 in particular weakens his structure quite a bit. I also have the bishop pair, for whatever that's worth. The so-called bishop pair. Probably the single most overvalued advantage in chess. Especially by me in the past. Okay, now he comes out with this really weird move, queen b6. Fine by me, dude, no problem. We're just trading queens. I love trading queens, especially against like attacking players. Never, you know, Xerox likes wild positions, you know, so I really don't mind getting technical with him. Now it's like a4. Do you want to extend yourself a little bit more? Maybe he almost has to. a4, bishop takes f6. But he's taking toward the center. It could be playable. Not like there's that many options here. I don't think he, you know, he's going to avoid having some kind of pawn weaknesses. He's got to stay as active as he can. The c file is also very important. This move looks time consuming. b6. I have a little something, but not that much. How about like the ultra technical ending? Floor versus Capablanca, but a slightly different version. He's not letting me penetrate. Where will my king not get in the way best? I'm not sure there's like a forward plan here other than directly along the c file. Well, what else can we do? We can actually hit his b pawn. Low risk, low reward position for white. Minimum risk, minimum reward. Kappa would hold it. He's going for it with that move. Well, I'm not playing b4, that's for sure. It's not clear if my king is a blessing or a curse here. I can't move my knight ever at the moment, but we will be able to eventually. Hey, have you played against Aman Hamilton? No. I've been living in Hungary since 2004, and I've only played a handful of tournaments in the West, you know, since that guy's been playing. So, and he hasn't played very much in Europe. We basically haven't played. I haven't played a lot in the last 10 years at all, and so we haven't been in the same place at the same time. As far as online blitz or something, I doubt it. Seems like he got strong fairly recently. Got to be a strong player fairly recently, so. Wonder if I'm going to have trouble making progress here. I kind of hate the move g3, but it's a prophylactic idea. He's getting some play now. I do have this. Well, we could always play a rook ending. Actually, I should have done that. Why the hell didn't I just take there? I had my chance to take it. Oh, God, it's so sick. Unbelievable. I should have literally. Wonder, can I sack the exchange? Rook takes b5, king e8, b6. I'll lose the pawn. I don't want to sack the exchange, seriously. Could have just taken his bishop on e6. It's so paradoxical, you know. You're sitting there, you're sitting there, you're sitting there. Speaking of floor, floor would have taken it like instantly. The Czech Grandmaster, he was like really brilliant player. I'm not sure if he did the right thing there, but I guess it doesn't hurt. Yeah, I totally screwed this up. I might even be worse here. Let's see. The computer says rook c5. This is nothing. Yep. Yeah, I missed my chance to win with knight takes e6. Apparently I could play knight to d6 here. I did not really understand that. But I missed that very much earlier idea. Right here where I played b4, I'm just taking on rook knight takes e6 check followed by rook takes h7. Okay, black still has some drawing chances here, but I mean it's, you know, it's clearly at least a good try for white. Aldisto in first place. I'm a Kitty is doing really well. Unicorns, Zeba Live, who I drew with Last Dance, he's quit the tournament or something because He's out or something. I don't know. He must have been disgusted with himself. He bought a nice iChessNet video course by Chaba Balog. Oh, Chess Pro. Chaba Balog, I won this like marathon game with when he was a little kid. I played the Scandinavian with knight f6 against him. And it was like bishop e5 check, knight on bd7, which is my pet variation. I just remember it was like one of the longest games I ever played. It was something like 100 moves in like 7.5 hours. But I took him down. The only time I ever played him, he was like, I don't know, 2250 probably. When he was like 13 or 12 years old. Okay, b3. Yeah, I guess I played b6. I also find knight f6 to be interesting. Various hyper-modern setups. Yeah, well, the problem with that rook endgame might not be my best. The computer was talking about other stuff, so I had other stuff. I was a little bit flustered. We had a good position. Unicorns. With the bishop d3, I don't think I've ever seen that. Pretty weird looking move. Knight c6 now. I guess a3. If knight f6, then knight c3. Seems like black's position should be quite good here, but it's hard to decide like on a concrete plan. I'm just making it up as I go along. I mean, I definitely have played a handful of b3, but not too many tournament games. I had a draw with Igor Foigl once. That's one of the only... I had a draw with a weak player once when I was pretty low-rated master. I don't know. I haven't played more than like 3 or 4 games against the b3 in my life, probably. Karklins used to do it, Andrew Karklins, but he would do it like later, not right away. But it's a fairly popular variation for white, though. I've never really been drawn to consider playing it with white. There was this guy, oh yeah, I had a game, I think I lost against Alexander Ruprintsev. I was talking earlier how I block out my games. There was this weird Russian master from the Ural Mountains, and he lived in Washington, D.C. for some years. Alexander Ruprintsev, he played the knight c6 Scandinavian and b3, and he beat me in the b3 once. It was a good game, like a rook ending or something. And he also played the Albin counter gambit, which is something you run into every day. Remember, like once, like Yermolinsky just like ripped his face off in an Albin counter. Like he played the Albin against Yermo, and Uncle Yermo just like tore him apart in little pieces. But the b3, the guy seemed to know pretty well. But he would do, yeah, I remember, Ruprintsev would play like e4, c5, b3, and then try to do f4. If you did like knight c6 and e5, he would play it like a king's gambit. I'm glad you're not a poker player, Arsenal fan. You'd be like rage tilting all the time. Okay, so we gotta be on the lookout for knight to d5, but it looks like it's probably not valid here. Though he has e5. e5 could be good. e5 knight g4 though. e5 knight g4, and how does he protect e5 after that? It's not clear. think I can just do that. I like to do what Unicorns is doing against the French defense, actually. I would play like kind of the same setup with white against the French. Doing like 2 knights out and b3. But it's just really utter garbage against the French. It'd be better for him to like castle kingside and maybe rook e1 here, rather than queen e2. It's alright. At least it's not a rated game. Well, you can never, you know, mouse slips are just part of the game. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Especially, you know, in a tournament situation. That's online chess. We just have to accept it and move on. I get really pissed when people, like, you know, have 3 minutes on the clock and flag me with rook against rook, you know. When they have 3 minutes and I have 1 minute and they play out rook against rook, that's when I'll get like really angry. About making mouse slips, that's not such a big deal, to me at least. I'm tempted to play bishop d6, but it may be too fancy. I'm thinking, really setting him up for knight to d5. Let's see, bishop d6. I feel like I'm setting him up for that big time. Rook e1, knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, knight to d5, bishop takes h2 check, king h1. It's actually not that clear. Let's give it a try. What was my last bad mouse slip here on the stream? I had one not that long ago. I'm pretty slow though. I'm really like rushing. When you're taking your time every move like I do lately, it's not that easy for me to make mouse slips. This was a Sicilian. It was a b3 Sicilian. It looks like he played the critical move there. Now I could do like knight g4 with a fishing pole. I also have knight to d4 here. Knight d4 is kind of nasty. Knight takes knight, bishop takes h2 check, king h1, and then just take back on d4. He doesn't have a great square for his knight. I'm not really sure how I follow it up though. I can't just find an easy move there for me. He's threatening e5 now for real. Anyway, we'll try it. I almost like forgot to do the in-between move. That would be bad. Now we just do a fishing pole with like h5. It's not that simple. I mean, let's say, where does he go here? Maybe I could play knight h5. That's hanging a piece. Okay, never mind. Well, we'll have to be creative. Maybe I'll just have to give the pawn back, but how? I can play bishop e5 actually. Cold. Stone cold bishop e5. There are some complications with that. Or are there? Maybe not. maybe not so bad. Anyway, it's a blitz game now. We're threatening to lock it down. Put him on permanent lockdown. So he's got to do this. And then the question is, that I did not expect, unicorns. I thought he would go for the full deal there, but actually, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this move. Bishop takes d4 is okay. Much less complicated than the other options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a slightly more pretty pawn structure, I guess, but it's not really better. I mean, he has the bigger pawn island, technically. The bishop on d4 is quite strong. I don't see any tactics for me. We're controlling key central squares. And his king is more open than mine, obviously. So that's the governing factor here. I don't really want to trade queens, for example. This looks pretty dangerous. Except dangerous for me. Always check, like, if you're hanging, like, mate in 1 or something. Good job, unicorns. Way to attack f7. I do have bishop g3. What's that do? Bishop g3. Feels really materialistic. I try not to be too materialistic. I'm sort of desperate here. My original plan was to take on e5, take on d4 and play e5, which is modest and okay for black. But I kind of felt like it's nothing special. I should go for more. He could take on b6, maybe even. Queen e5. Bishop takes b6, queen e5 does look, well, obviously dangerous for white, but it's not the end of the world. I still don't have a clear win anywhere. I mean, at the very least, he's going to get a pawn for the exchange and have a strong dark-scored bishop. Or not. Well, it's still going to be hard for me to protect that. I don't know. He has some compensation. This is a classic Sicilian trick. Okay, I have no idea what's going on now. I'm a little scared, but I'm thinking about the likelihood is that I'm going to castle queenside in the near future. So if he takes on g7, I play rook g8, he takes, I play takes on d4, he takes that too. He has 2 pawns for the exchange. It's a game. It's a game, right? if he wants. Oh, man. My move order was probably bad. There I thought he had, I can't castle queenside, whoops. He had bishop c4. I'm not going to be materialistic. He just forgot about his knight hanging. Now he has like 17 pawns for a piece. Let's not let this get completely out of control here. At least we can trade rooks. Alright, let's round up those pawns. Not the most convincing game. There's a good chance I was worse in a part of that game, a good part of the game, maybe like half. What's up, guys? We got like 30 minutes left in the tournament. I have no idea what was going on there. Okay, are we even close to the beginning? Okay, we're not even close. Aldisto has 25 points. I'm not berserking. Aldisto, are you berserking? How does he have so many points so quickly? Alright. Damn, dude, I'm on 9. Aldisto has played 9 matches so far. I mean, games. Amateurs like to refer to them as matches. The arena tournament, it's kind of a weird structure. I'm not even close to the front leaders. Zeba Live, yeah, 1700. I'm a Kitty's 1100. You thought you were underrated, Zeba Live. I'm a Kitty claims he's 1100. You're on 2, and then what's the time forfeit? What? Knight f3. Yeah, I'm stopping. Like, I've got to come up with something new here, basically. Against knight f3 in particular. I was talking about this recently. I'm so sick of the symmetrical English. It's like ridiculous. It's a very solid defense against knight f3 and c4. But if I want to beat weaker players, we're gonna have to incorporate, you know, something sharper here. This could transpose to a Nimzovich, which I've actually played before. Most people, you know, who play knight f3 on move 1 don't instantaneously transfer to an e4 opening. I'm a Kitty. It's not that typical. Knight e5 there allows knight takes e5. I'm not sure what the status of that is. I'm a Kitty has like a perfect score, or what's going on? Knight c3. It's been years since I played this position. I think I beat Charles Reardon, who's like a 24-ish, high 2300 player. E6. It's a very incisive move. I'm a Kitty. Bishop g5. I don't think I've ever faced that move. And now bishop b5 on the other side. Okay. It's getting pretty weird. I have a couple draws and a number of wins. That was a forfeit. Oh, you were the time forfeit. Well, time forfeit, like if you used all your time, it's not like, it's less, it's the same as losing, basically. Now here, I don't know what to do. This is kind of awkward. White has like a big advantage, dude. I feel like I'm playing an immovable object. It's just like lurching forward no matter what I do. Normally I would take the other way, but this position looks kind of creepy. To be playing G takes F. I'm lucky I'm possibly, you know, close to even equal here. Although F5 now is starting to look interesting, also kind of dangerous. Castle's queenside is a nutty way to play this position. F5. Pawn takes, bishop takes. Rook e1 check, bishop e7, queen e2. Advantage to white. I don't know. I'm a Kitty is playing like God here today. My position is pretty sketchy. It looks like I'm in some trouble here. Although if he goes g4, I could sacrifice a piece. I don't think that's sound. And he's not only playing strongly, but he's like making instantaneous moves too. Pretty scary stuff. You know, but this player is not an 1100. You know, I don't know what that's about. I'm a Kitty. You couldn't possibly be USCF 1100 and play like this. I'm probably going to lose at this rate, just like I'm getting crushed strategically. Maybe I could have played f5 there. I started to become kind of demoralized. I'm just getting so positionally outplayed. And like f5, I can do f5. I'm not sure if it's even good. But it kind of feels like if I don't do f5, I'm like a dead man. If I do f5, it's not quite over yet. Malamud dude, did you beat you beat a GM online or in an over-the-board tournament? What kind of time format are you talking about? In a simul, in a blitz game, in a bullet game? It makes a difference, you know, in whist or maybe like, you know, bingo. Now I'm a Kitty's position just, you know, lost all advantage, although he's still probably equal. He was basically positionally crushing me. I was probably just lost strategically. Simuling 30 players. Yeah, it's I know it's really hard. I got really frustrated last week. I started thinking everybody was playing like a GM. I've got to be a little bit careful about my deployment here. White is still equal, as I said. The knights in the symmetrical structure are not really bad. Bishops like dynamism and imbalances. Knights like fixed structures and outposts. I'm a Kitty had a massive advantage. Now it's probably drifted to the point where he's a tiny infinitesimal bit worse. But not enough to lose if he plays perfectly here. What did I do wrong? You didn't kill me with perfect moves the way you probably could have if you were a strong grandmaster or a computer. You would have beaten me for sure. Other than that, you did fine. You let me undouble my pawn on f6, which is the main problem. And I don't think that was necessary. But now you're only equal. You're not totally winning yet. Let's play h6. My viewers did hint me one move or two. This is not the ideal situation for the bishops, but he's got some weaknesses on a2 and d5, and they're going to be a little bit tricky to defend. If my king could get into the game faster than his king, if the queens come off or something like that, wonder if I should play bishop. b5 is worth considering, but he has knight c6 there. Bishop a2. First, maybe centralize my king. Centralize the king to d7. That enables me to move my c-pawn, and ultimately to drive his knight away from d4, which is driving me nuts. How much time we have left in the tournament? Enough time for like one more game. I'm way out of contention. My games are just too long, and I had a couple draws. But I'm not going to do the berserk. Aldisto has an incredible score. I guess he must not have lost a game. I mean, the way he's going. What's up? King f2, king d7, white to play. This will still not be that easy for me to make progress. No, bishop e4, c4. This is still quite a bit of technique. I think it would require for me to win this. Bishop e4, c4. I can play b5. b5, knight c6. And he's threatening knight b8, among other things. I really need to get my other pawns active into the routine as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how to win this. b5 isn't enough. It may just be a draw with perfect play by white. I can force an ending. Bishop takes d4. Pawn takes d4. Bishop takes f3. Which is really interesting. I mean, I don't know for sure that this is winning, but I should have some chances. Three against two majority on the side. I mean, I ought to be able to create a passed pawn. He just creates a fortress here. How does this work? There's no way for me to win. If I can make him run out of moves, I should be winning. Yeah, but that's actually a blunder, okay? I have f5 check. I think there's a way that white could have played h4 before I could play g5. And I'm not even sure that this was a win until now. Curious king and pawn endgame. Curious game in general. White totally winning before. The endgame's probably a draw. If he plays h4, it's a dead draw with h4. Okay. Let's see. Aldisto got out of control. I'm not going to get to play him because my score sucks. I'm a Kitty managed to play like 27 games. I don't know how you did that. Just lose them quickly, like like what's his name? Yeah, h4 just wins. I mean draws. Alligator said I should close my account. What's he talking about? He has the worst connection ever. He was Jones and Greg's is challenging me. Greg's, what are you doing over there, dude? I'm hosting a tournament. Are you watching the stream? We've got time for one more game, hopefully. Yeah, I mean Chess Kitty. I don't know. Strange, dude. Very inconsistent. You played fantastically in the opening, but I think you basically had a strategically winning position. It wasn't like a forced win, but strategically winning. But I have noticed that I'm a Kitty is like an opening expert. Aldisto, how did he get so many points? Like, I didn't get the streak starter going. I had this draw in the middle, That's my problem. Unable to get the streak starter started, and I got you know, 2 draws or whatever. So we can't generate points without the streak starter. The key to Aldisto's victory was this streak starter here. Actually, nobody's berserking, but Aldisto must have won a lot of really fast games to get to play so many games. He literally got to play 11 games. I mean, these are games that can last 15 minutes. How do you get to play 11 15-minute games? I mean, 11 times 15 is... that's a long time, dude. That's like over 3 hours. His games could literally have been over 3 hours long. Unicorns has played 6. I've played 6. The Bad Fish and I'm Kitty are using the King Crusher system, where you just like resign a lot of games quickly. Keep just trying to find fish you can beat and make it fast. But nobody's berserking. Last Dance seemed to have dropped out when he lost the game. He was demoralized. I'm a Kitty beating Last Dance. I forgot about that. So having an incredible result today. I don't know. I'm not getting a pairing here. I do have time for one more game at least, but I'm not really close to the leaders. The Bad Fish is ahead of me. He's played like 27 games. I'm a Kitty's played a lot too. Zebo Live was impressive. He drew against me. He's in 2nd place. His account's at 1700 FIDE, but most of these players are much stronger than that in the top 10 here. Everybody in the top 10, you know, except for I'm a Kitty, and I guess the Bad Fish is like master-ish level, or at least candidate master, or whatever. Candidate master is 2200 according to FIDE. That's like US master. There's a lot of luck involved in winning. Well, I mean, if we're not berserking, yeah, it depends on who you play, and winning quick games is a secret, you know. Because the tournament is time-oriented, I mean, it's kind of a weird, you know, it's a weird system. I hope that lichess will incorporate other tournament formats in the future. I don't know why I'm not getting paired. I want to thank you guys for joining me in advance. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing Blitz and Classical Chess in the morning, 10 a.m. CET here on lichess and Twitch. Thanks for subscribing. We've got about 90 viewers ATM, which isn't bad. My morning streams have been kind of slow. I think there's still a half-price sale on subscriptions on Twitch. So this player is scoring really well here. Anyway, I was just talking about c4 being, you know, I don't want to play this symmetrical English anymore. I'm really, really sick of it. I'll do pretty much anything else. If I'm trying to win, like a blitz game or something. I don't really like the closed Sicilian, to be honest. I can transpose to the King's Indian, no problem. And that's... well, we have a couple possibilities here. You know, we could go into c5, but there we are again. You know, if he transposes to symmetrical English, it's really pretty irritating. Let's try something aggressive. It's actually a dragon. Fianchetto dragon. Which is fine by me. Queen b6 would be a kind of funky move. It wouldn't really do anything. The move order here, I have to be a little bit careful with my move order. Dude. Oh, well, you can take on d4 and play d6. It's similar to the symmetrical English, isn't it? It basically, it's like a symmetrical English where he put his piece in a strange place there. This is a little bit more safe, I guess. Not easy to play for a win here, though. Effectively a symmetrical English again. Okay, it's hard to win if your opponent plays super solid type of setups. But I guess I should play something more flexible. Milos Kirstic, thank you for subscribing. Arsenal fan Richie, are you talking about my game? You have to be careful there. I mean, it's an unusual move order, but if I play d6, he can play knight takes c6, b takes c6, e5, d takes e, bishop takes c6, and I'm honestly not sure. Once I had a game here on the stream against Julian Proleko, where he did that kind of thing. I did that kind of thing against him, and he got a good position with black, but I'm honestly not sure. It's a weird structure. I'd rather avoid it. And avoid simplification in general. Well, this is basically a symmetrical English main line where he played e4, you know, and that's normally a move that white doesn't play because it's blocking the bishop on g2. We might have rook c8 and b5. But I don't know if it's even good. But I don't know. Knight g4. And knight g4 looks pretty nasty, actually. Then he'll go knight d5. And I'm stuffed. He could actually do that anyway. He'd just stick his knight on d5 at all times. Something to think about, isn't it? Doesn't solve all of white's problems. I certainly know. The bishop on g7 reminds me a little of my first game against Zibo Live, where you're just like menacing bishop the whole game. I couldn't move my bishop from c1, and my rook was like stuck there as a result. Yeah, so now I was thinking about b5. Well, we've got to do something interesting. In a vacuum, I don't know if this is good, bad, equal. But at least it creates some kind of complication. Chances for both sides. Ultimately, I don't know if this is even good for me. I mean, I'm trading off his e4 pawn at the end of the day, which is really like restricting his bishop on g2. So am I ultimately just opening up his bishop on g2 by doing this? There's no time to figure it out. I probably, you know, could prepare something more gradual, but then my rook's on the wrong square. I mean, if I wanted to do a6 and b5 here, you could go ahead and play like rook b8 and a6 and b5. And it will transpose to something like a normal, some kind of normal type O negative, some normal type O. What about his rook though? Does he have a problem there? Maybe he has to be pretty careful with the bishop tandem on the two long diagonals. He could lose an exchange or something. So he decided that that was an issue and plays this move. Well, I guess my plan was to play this, so that's what we're going to play. Black is not worse, but is black better? The million-dollar question. I'm afraid it's not really better for me, just like equal maybe. Sigh. Very nice play by white. I could try something energetic with d5 though. It almost looks like I have to. I mean, if I don't, like, what the heck am I doing here? It's like a computer move. I played a number of players using computers and other computers, and they get in this d5, usually in gambit variations of the symmetrical English main line, which this is very similar to. We have differences of opinion. One subscriber would take white, and the other one says, I would prefer to play black here. That's what makes chess a great game. You know, there's so many competing factors and whatnot. I think that d5 is definitely the bomb. I mean, this is, without this move, I have nothing. This is really the key question. It may be a blunder. I'm really not sure. Who knows? So b4, d takes c4. That's the point, I guess. He doesn't have that. I could even play knight e4 maybe. And his queen is sometimes hanging on d2. A lot of times along the frontal line. So this move, if I just make a routine move there like bishop d7, I'm equal maximum. But d5 turns the tables on white. Feels like white has to play perfectly not to be worse here. Simply knight takes. Might win a pawn. Pawn takes jettisons my structure forever. I hope he doesn't have any surprises here. We're not going to place for the top 3 here. I'm a Kitty is in 2nd place. Zeba Live. So the 1100 finishes 2nd. The 1700 finishes 3rd. And all the master players are like 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 12th, and 13th. This is quite a move. Quite a move. How strong is our opponent? He's like 1940, 1600 in blitz. And 1900 in classical. That's a pretty ballsy move. Okay, so I've got to take this. We win an exchange, but he's got a pawn for it and a better structure. I mean, it shouldn't be quite enough for white. But I'm definitely getting the queens off ASAP. Taking with the king to avoid skewers and other good stuff. And now bishop c3 fails to bishop. Wait a second. We need to be accurate. Maybe maybe rook fd8 is best. No, maybe it's not best because it like loses the exchange. All right. It's best not to lose the exchange. It's not like it matters. I'm not gonna win like top 3 if I win the game in time. I might as well just try to do my best. Very technical position. Probably winning, but requiring excellent technique by black. And even then, I mean, it's not a guaranteed win. It's very hard for me to penetrate with my rooks here. This is getting pretty irritating now. I guess I should play e5. It's a little late for that, though. King G7 could be playable. Not getting myself pinned. The bad fish. He doesn't seem like a bad fish. He didn't even take this pawn, didn't even consider it. He seems like quite a strong fish. Can play toe-to-toe with like a 2400 FIDE player. 7+2, that's not your average player. Not sure this is at all winning for me. Said that already. Really difficult. Maybe like a fortress draw. Objectively, I don't have quite enough to win, and I can easily lose or blunder. F4. Yet another good move. I feel like almost paralyzed here. This is another. What is this, force a draw or something? Yeah. It looks like it at least forces a draw. It's a good thing it's not a rated game. He's offering me a draw. Well, do I have any tricks? I've got a minute more and I'm up the exchange for a pawn. Just nothing to do. He found that pretty quickly. Actually, he's not trying bishop d7, doesn't even consider it, because that allows rook d6. There he probably has even winning chances. Well, that looks like the end of the tournament, dude. Impressive game by White. He's actually better after bishop f4. I have to sack the exchange. Let's see what the final analysis here of White's play and my play is. Not sure anybody made any mistakes in this game. Like a 0-0-0-0-0 type of game. Particularly impressive was how he handled that d5. I made a couple blunders though, it looks like. After king takes f7, I made bishop d4 was a blunder. Looks like we just made some inaccuracies. So at one point I was clearly better. Well, when I won the exchange, queen takes d2, takes, king takes, bishop takes d2. I have to find rook c2 apparently. If I don't find that move, I'm not winning. I missed it completely. That move, the one move that probably could win for me. White played like a master, or strong candidate master here. All right. So, what's the final analysis? Tournament is about to end. Where is my tournament? Where is my tournament? View tournament. It's over. Aldisto with a very impressive performance. And then the 1100 in second place, the 1700 in third. I'm not going to play any marathons, no. I don't have enough time, unfortunately. You know, it's really hard. I've got to teach a lot of private lessons and stuff. Arsenal fan Richie said, I think trading the rook off, having too few Having what? Two bishops in that position is better than a bishop and a rook. Trading the rook off and having what? Few two bishops. I don't understand what you mean exactly. I'm a Kitty finished second. Berserking 20%. Aldisto actually berserked 25%. And Zeba Live, who's new to the tournament, finished third. I'm a Kitty. Yeah, you're 1231. Sure, dude. Then you don't play in tournaments, obviously. You know, you're like expert strength, you know, and you don't play. But your rating isn't relevant if you don't play in tournaments. So, anyways, Chess Pro, what? You played the classical, the lichess classical was incredible. 2 GMs and many IMs. I would like to play in the marathon and like the classical tournaments, but I just don't have enough time to play, like, you know, that kind of session all at once. Too many other things going on. So you drew a 1437 last tournament. Yeah, dude. All right. So we are finished in 9th place, my worst result ever. What did I do? I had a bunch of draws. I can't access it. What's going on? They don't want to show me. Aldisto with a professional performance here. I'm stuttering. I don't know. My lichess is like freezing up. Aldisto, can I click on your performance? So he lost to Bad Fish. Why am I not surprised by that? And he lost to Zeba Live. So only one draw by Aldisto. Another draw with Zeba Live, who seems suspiciously stronger than 1700. I mean, I know like a guy who's like 1700 USCF, who's basically like 2500 strength on here. So there are some people like that, but they're very, very rare, you know, for the most part. I'm not interested in winning my own tournament, but it's okay. That's why I don't berserk. The point of my stream is to teach chess and help you guys, you know, learn something from the game. So that's why I don't play bullet or anything like that. I want to thank you guys for playing. We are going to end the stream here. World Loser, I didn't see him. He didn't really have a good tournament. But we will like say congratulations to Aldisto, well-deserved victory. I don't know what happened to Last Dance, the Bullet Maestro. He got knocked out by I'm a Kitty and just quit the tournament. He was like, that's enough for me, man. I'm not losing to a 1700. Anyway, guys, it was fun. Chess Quack, you're what? 1700 kitties. Yeah, exactly, dude. He's at least 1700 kitties. We will see you guys tomorrow with Blitz and Classical Chess here on lichess. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, where I do upload all the streams and some other cool stuff as well. Thanks for subscribing to my stream. Thanks, Aldisto. Good to see you there, winning the tournament. I think you've really, you know, I don't know if you feel this way, but I think you've improved substantially, you know, since you started playing last year on my stream. Yeah, I agree. Chess Pro, lichess needs to incorporate other formats of tournaments, because not just the arena alone. It's kind of one-dimensional. But hopefully that will happen in the future. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at, what is it, 10 a.m. Central European time, Central European Summer Time, that is. I don't know when the time change is coming up soon. We will see you guys tomorrow morning, and that's it. Please subscribe, and you can make a donation via PayPal if you want to support the stream. Do that on my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, or here on Twitch. And I want to say thanks to those of you who have made donations, and everyone who has subscribed to the Twitch channel. We had 90 plus viewers tonight. Good job, and interesting games. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. And again, thanks to World Loser and Jeroen for playing and moderating the chat today. Later, guys. See you later, Arsenal. Bye bye.